Hello everybody and welcome to another video by Blissful Techno Health. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a file or a image to send to your DTG printer so that you can print on your shirt. You have to be able to set everything up properly to make sure you get a good quality print on your t-shirt. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so for starters, you're going to want to have Photoshop. Photoshop's an incredibly powerful tool, and if you're serious about doing DTG prints or running a t-shirt business for whatever reason, just get Photoshop. It's not that much money. It's like $10 a month right now. You get Photoshop, Lightroom, and whatever. It's a package deal. Just do it. So you need Photoshop. Got to have that. If you already have Photoshop, then boom, you're in like Flynn. Everything I'm going to show you is in Photoshop. So if you don't have Photoshop, watch the video if you want, or go get Photoshop, then watch the video. If you're just looking to get information, well, that's cool too. So open up Photoshop. Okay, here I am. And let's say you want to create a design, or you want to get a file ready. Somebody sent you a design even, okay? I'm going to set the file up. So new, okay, it's going to come up. And if you don't have, let's say the default size, like here, for example, you're going to need to change these settings, okay? This is how I do all of mine. And they all come out great. I've literally printed thousands and thousands of shirts, and they come out looking great. So I have a custom one that I set up here, okay? Preset details. You can call the name of the file whatever you want, okay? You want it to be 12 by 16 inches. Okay, your orientation, you want it like this. Vertical, whatever, not horizontal. And 12 by 16 inches. Your resolution, you want it 300, okay, pixels per inch. Bare minimum of 150. Don't go any less than 150. You want at least 150, but I make all of mine in 300. Color mode, I leave it RGB. Don't do CMYK unless you've created something in Illustrator and you're doing something, you're a graphic designer. I'm not a huge graphic designer. I can do some, but not a ton. 8-bit. Some software packages, when you send the file to the software to rip it, to be able to send it to the printer, anything above 8-bit will not work on some programs, some ripping software programs, new ones too. So make sure you're creating it in 8-bit, not 16 or 32, 8. Background depends on what you're doing. I start all mine off with white. That's all you need, okay? Create your document or create your file, boom. It's gonna bring us here in Photoshop to a blank slate, 12 by 16 white background. In here, you can put your image of what it is you want to print. For example, I have an image for a local customer that I print for. I like showcasing this image, one, because it gives them some publicity, and two, it's a beautiful image. Let me grab it up here. I should have been ready. Okay, so I've got the image here. Okay, as you can tell, the image, it's a Christian gaming store. But what's relevant here is that there's a lot going on, okay, on this image. You've got a lot of color, and you've got gradient colors, like here in the 8-bit, and it's pretty detailed. A DTG printer can print this just fine, and it looks beautiful. So if I have this file that somebody created, a graphic, you have a customer who sent you a graphic, you just drop this in here and it should center it. You can always make sure it's centered. I want to make sure over here on the right in my layers, I have both layers selected, and you can see up here I've got 3 different things. I can align things to the left, to the right, or center. So you can make sure it's centered. Up and down, make sure it's centered if you want, left and right. Center it there. And this is just about ready for print. Now, what I want to do is I want to save the file and a specific file type. But before I save it, we want to make sure there's no background. It's got to be a transparent background. If you have a background, it will print the background. We have to get rid of that. So what's nice is, if you notice, I can turn off this background layer, and you can see this file that I imported, it is a PNG file type. Okay? PNG can have transparent background. You have to make sure all of your print files have a transparent background. So you can see here it's got a transparent. Okay? So what I typically do is I delete the background layer. Okay? And then you want to save it, hit Control-Shift-S, or you can just go File, Save As. Okay, Control-Shift-S, it's a faster way. Okay, and you can select the file type as a PNG. Okay, and call it what you want. Now I can save that here as a PNG file. If this comes up, large file size, fast saving, that's fine. Hit OK. And my file is ready. So then I save that over here. Here's my file. Okay. It looks like it has a background right here, but it doesn't. It's just because the Windows photo viewer is all white. But now if I go to my RIP software, I can open this file and send it through the RIP software. Now every RIP software is going to be a little different depending on what you're using. So what's important and relevant here right now is that you understand how to have the file created. This is very helpful if you're new to this, because you got to know what you're getting into. Now, let's say you want to create your own design. You can do that, and it can be pretty easy. So I'm going to show you guys how to create your own design. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new document. I'm just going to call it design. 12 by 16, 300. I saved these presets here. As you can see, I've got it here. Let's go ahead and start this up. Okay, and for this design, I'm going to hit Shift F5. Okay, Shift and F5. Together will let me change the contents of that background layer that I have selected and highlighted over here. Okay, make sure this is highlighted, the background. You selected it. Then you hit Shift F5. So, repeat. Make sure your layer is selected over here, background. Shift F5. Come up to Contents. Make sure you select Color. Drag it down to the bottom left corner for black. All the way to the bottom. Zeroed out here. Okay, okay. Okay, I've got my black background. Now, I can do whatever I want. And believe it or not, a lot of shirts that sell online are super simple shirts. Okay, so you're gonna make sure you have a plethora of fonts that you've downloaded, and there's tons of free fonts available. You can go to dafont.com. A lot of those require a license though for commercial use. There are a lot of free commercial use fonts at 1001fonts.com. I think it's .com. Excuse me. Or you can buy fonts. I've bought a lot of fonts that I think are beautiful fonts. Okay, so here's a font. And let's just say, wow, that's huge. You can make this say anything. So let's say you can just say, this is for somebody specific. Like let's say it's for an ant. Okay, a lot of people just like simple stuff. So you can say blessed auntie. Literally, that could be a shirt. Somebody just wants their shirt to say blessed auntie. You would be surprised at how many people want a shirt that just does something so simple like this. Okay, so I could do it like this, or I could just say blessed and then do a separate layer. Oh, and by the way, to do the text, you come over here to the left, click the T for text. I'm presuming you guys know how to use Photoshop. A lot of you probably do, but if you don't, I'll try to go through step by step. To create a text, you have to come over here to the T, which is the text, horizontal type tool, or you can just hit T on the keyboard and it will bring you to that selection tool. So, and then I can create a second layer over here on the right, as you can see. That way I can move them around separately. Like let's say I wanted this one to be bigger for some reason. I can do that because I have separate layers now. I can hit Control T and then I can just grab a corner and make it bigger to however I want it. You can notice up here that I've got some dimensions for it. I can hit OK. I can hit V to be able to move it. I'm just using hotkeys for these tools over here. Okay, V is the move tool. Okay, so I can hit V, and I can move this around. Okay, let's say they want anti bigger for some reason. Okay, and blessed smaller. And let's say for some reason we want to make this have a curve. So I can come over here, double click on the T over here. Double click on that and it highlights the whole text box. And now I can click up here, give it a curve, style, arc. That's very arced. Let's bring it down. Okay, now it's arced. Now one thing that can be kind of bothersome about the arc, you'll see, look when I move this, see that line? The D is down further than the B because the way that the font is. So I typically hit Control T again on that. And instead of expanding it, making it bigger, I'll grab it, slightly turn it to even it out. So you can do something like that. I'm just showing you guys for example. You can just write words on shirts, sayings, phrases, and there we go. We can have a shirt that says Blessed Auntie. Now I'm going to give you a big tip here, okay? There's a lot of free graphics you can download. A lot of different websites where you go find free PNG files or Illustrator files that you can use to put in the graphic. So for example, let's say they want, I'm going to grab a graphic here. Okay, so I've got one here. It's an EPS file. I can drag that in here, okay? And I got a little arrow. Okay, you want to make sure, if you want to resize it, hit Control T. Resize that arrow. Let's say like, I want that to be skinnier. Well, you can grab it here. Oh, gosh, they've changed this with this newer version of Photoshop. Hit Shift and then drag it here and it will pull just those sides. Okay. Okay, so let's say you want to have Blessed Auntie and an arrow. Okay, now the arrow's gray. We need to make the arrow white. Okay, so you can see that layer over here for that arrow. I can right click on that. Blending options. Color overlay. Make sure it's highlighted. Here you can click to change the color of the overlay. Okay, we're going to use white just for this video. And there you go. Blessed Auntie with an arrow heart. Some aunt might think this is a really cute shirt. So there you have it. Now let's say I want to resize this whole thing. I can select all three of these layers. I held Shift. And then I clicked, I have elements 33 highlighted, which is the arrow. Hold down Shift, click down to all the layers I want. I have highlighted all three, or I can hit Control to select individual layers that I want. Now that I have them all highlighted, they're all selected. I can hit Control T again to resize. Now we can resize them all together. See that? Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to hit V to move it around. And now I want to make sure it's centered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure all the layers are highlighted on the right. Make sure I'm selected on V, the movement tool, move tool, and I can center these right here. So now they're all centered. Sometimes depending on the font, they might look weird centered, so you have to kind of recenter them to make them look what looks best. Sometimes you'll have a letter that has a long tail on it like this, and it would look really weird, so you have to kind of move it over a little bit. But most of the time you can get away with using the center tool here. Okay, so center it. It looks great. Okay. This file, actually what I would do is I would pull it up here a little bit, because this is a tip for you. If you're printing on V-neck shirts and crew neck shirts, you want to bring it up pretty close to the top. Because when you're printing on a V-neck shirt, the V-neck shirt comes down, and you don't want to start printing the graphic real low, or it's going to be over their belly, their stomach. You don't want it to be hanging out over their stomach. You want the graphic to be high up here. Notice how this shirt I have on, the graphic is pretty close up to the crew collar here. So what you want to do is bring it up to the top. I've got about half an inch here, okay? Then I would save this file. I would delete the background, save the file, Control-Shift-S, design, whatever you want to call it, save it as a PNG, bam. That file's ready to send to the RIP software for the printer to print. Now, touching back on this margin up here. This margin, if you're printing on a crew shirt, you're going to want to put a 1-inch margin in the software, the ripping software. All the ripping softwares are going to be different, but they all have, that I've seen, all the ones I use and have used, they allow you to move the graphic around. So when you pull the graphic up in, you give it a 1-inch margin from the top, and it'll bring it down 1 inch. You do that for the crew necks. But I have it clear up here because it's already ready for the V-necks. So if I pull this file up in my ripping software and I'm printing on a V-neck, it's ready to go. If I pull this up in the ripping software and it needs a crew neck, all I do is just add the 1-inch margin. Boom. And it's important to make sure they're all the same, because if you're going to hire a printer, a guy to work the printers, you want to have everything streamlined and the same for him. So his training is simple. So he understands, oh, any graphic I'm using, oh, this is a crew neck, make sure there's a 1-inch margin. Oh, it's a V-neck, make sure there's no margin. So he knows what to do. Streamline it all. Don't make it complicated for him. Or he might mess up more shirts. He might forget to do one of the margins because things aren't streamlined, and it's harder for the brain to create the habits. So I hope this video is helpful. I know it was a little long. I tried to explain some basics for you. You got Photoshop here. If you have any questions on some of the keys I use, if I didn't explain something well, please shoot me a comment down below. But the most important thing is that you have the file set up properly, that 12:16, 300 resolution, 8-bit. And that's going to get you set up for sending it to the printer. For your graphics, I usually recommend hiring out a graphic designer to create really cool new designs, or go buy designs from somebody else, or do simple designs like this. Just download some cute fonts and find some free graphics like this you can put stuff into and create some of your own in a simple way. But for example, this 8-bit design, I mean, I can't draw that. I can't design that. This local store, they had this kid draw this up for them with like a drawing tablet or something. I don't know how he created it, but I mean, the kid's a good artist. I can't draw that. I can do simple stuff like this. Boom. And believe it or not, people like this kind of stuff. I hope this video is helpful. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to keep creating content for you guys regarding the t-shirts. I don't know for how long, because I don't know how many videos I can make for this, but I'm going to keep going as far as I can to try to help answer a lot of your questions. Thank you very much. You guys have a beautiful evening, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.